It's time now to talk some more Pigskin preview here on StatelineSportsHub.com when we move over to the NUIC and Pecatonica and their head coach, Eric Bergin. First of all, Coach, thanks for doing this today for us.
Hey, no problem. No problem.
Let's talk about Pecatonica. A lot of people are talking about Pecatonica. Matter of fact, you guys have had some adversity over the past couple of years, but it seems like you're overcoming all that. How's it going so far this fall so far?
So far, it's been going good. I guess we have two teams. We have a varsity team and a fresh soft team. We got 19 kids for varsity, and we got 17 for fresh soft. So we'll be able to play 2 games, which again is a minor victory in itself. Hopefully, it's the last time we got to talk about that. And otherwise, the kids are hungry. They've worked hard all summer, and been 3 days of practice so far this year, and everything's been going well.
You look at it sometimes, I know adversity is no fun, but sometimes it builds some character in coaches and in players. Are you seeing any of that as you get ready for that first varsity game again this year?
Well, yeah. I only have 3 seniors who played last year, so are playing again this year. They played last year's juniors on the JV team, and they're playing this year. Those are the kids that really you can kind of see it because they only get 1 season of varsity football, and we got some other seniors that come out this year, and hopefully it kind of rubs off on those guys. They're just not out here to be here, and they're out there actually try and work hard and win some games. And we got a good junior class mixed in with them, and hopefully we see some success there.
And you're happy with your numbers, especially if you're going to have 2 teams this year. That's great.
Well, as I said, compared to last year, yes, we're very happy with the numbers. Could we always have more? Yes, I think it's 2 kids that I would like to get out. That didn't come out. Yes, every small school coach can say that. Numbers are very well. I was pleased with our attendance over the summer, and as of right now, we're looking good numbers-wise going into week 1.
And does it help you? You're in the building. I know in the past they had coaches that weren't in the building. Does that help you a lot to be able just to see those kids and talk to them?
Yes, I think that was a big help. I was in there. Obviously, I taught in the building, in the high school building, so they saw me every day, and I was in their ear every day, trying to convince them to come out. And, they said no, I'd ask them again the next day and the next day until either they said yes or I finally got sick enough of me just ignore me. So I know it helped a lot. I think it helped a lot, and plus the kids, could see what I'm like and what my expectations are, and how I am as a person, as a teacher, and as a coach. And they like me, they'll come out. If they really don't like me and the way I do, then they probably won't come out. But so obviously, they must like me a little bit. We got a bunch of kids to come out, and as I said, it's helping with our numbers a lot, and it's going well. Actually, I got the head track coach is now one of my assistant coaches too. So it's another sport kind of crossing over with football, and I think that helps out too.
When you look at this season, last year you played JV football basically, or sophomore football.
Yeah.
How's the offense look for this year? Because that's a key part. You got to have some skilled people doing that stuff.
Yes, sir. Actually, looks very well. We got we're not big at running back, but I think we're pretty fast. I'd like to think we got some kids back there that can run. I got Alex there, one of the faster kids in conference. He finished second in the 100 last year in the dash in the conference meet. I got some other kids that can run well also, and so we're going to emphasize that. Use some speed to try and get outside and make some big plays for us out there on the edge.
Who's going to have to be the leader on that offense for you? Do you have a guy that is kind of taking a little bit of control for you?
I just had Alex there, and he's a senior. He's one of the seniors that played last year, JV level, fortunately he's a junior, and then this year he's really kind of, seeing it as, it's my senior year, and, he's one that kind of takes control and kind of reins some things in when, kind of gets out of control a little bit or whatever before I have to. So it's been good to see him in Collinsville. He's a senior lineman for us. Again, he played last year. And I think those two have really, kind of taken it to heart. This is their senior year, and they want to, they want to see this work. They've went through the last 2 years. As sophomores, they played that year, and then last year they didn't have varsity season. Now this year they really want to make it work, and so that's been nice to see. And as a coach, I don't got to deal with all the little things. Sometimes they deal with it before I have to, and that's the way it's supposed to work.
Will we see some diversity in that offense, or are you going to have to stick to basically one type of offense this year?
We'll mainly be a running team. We're going to do something. We don't line up and try and go straight ahead and go over people. I said we're not the biggest, but I think we can run a little bit. So we'll do some different things to get outside. We'll throw a little bit here or there. And, we're not going to line up and throw it 20, 25 times a game. If we do, it means we're losing pretty bad. We're trying to catch up. But It'll be mainly running. We're going to emphasize our running backs, and our quarterback will be there to direct the offense, which he does pretty well. And when we ask him to throw, I think he'll be ready to throw and make some plays for us.
Defensively, how does it look this year for the Indians?
Defensively, I mean, we actually got a little depth up front this year. With our tackles and our DNs, we can rotate some kids and get some kids some breaks and keep some fresh legs there. DB-wise, our wing backs got some speed. They're going to be back there as our DBs. So hopefully nothing should get behind us. Linebackers, we're working on a little bit. As I said, we're not the biggest running backs in the world, so we're going to be a little small at the linebacker position. But, again, we'll be fast enough there, so hopefully we don't give up many big plays, but we'll be able to come downhill and fill and make sure we don't just get ran over up the middle. So we should be all right. We'll be able to rotate up front, and hopefully we don't give up too many big plays and make teams work for it.
You know, I've talked to a lot of schools recently, and a lot of people are going to have to go both ways. And so I guess you are all in the same boat, no matter how many numbers you have this year.
Yeah, especially in our conference. We're all 1A. We got a couple 2A schools, and even them, they have to go both ways too. And at this conference, you have varsity kids who are probably doing pretty well. They're going to have to go both ways and play special teams, but that's always been the way it has been in this conference. So nothing new. I tell the kids, you're tired, tough. You still got to go out there and special teams or do something, give us your best effort because, we really ain't got too much else to put in for you. So, just the way it is, and the kids expect it, and know what to do, and hopefully we can rotate them and give them some breaks here or there, kind of like we can take out for defense, the series, or the whole game on defense. You got to be in there, you got to be playing.
Special teams, you mentioned that a little bit ago. I know that at a small school, sometimes it's hard to get those kickers out and stuff. How are you looking for that so far?
Actually, we got our kickers played last year for us on the JV level or sophomore level. They're both back this year, so actually, we're kind of set there for varsity. Fresh off, we're trying to figure out who we're going to have kicked down there, but that's not a big deal as far as varsity-wise. But varsity-wise, I said, we're actually not too bad. We're kind of set on kickers. So it's not like we're searching for anybody, so that's not really been a big deal for us this year.
I look at the conference you're in NUIC, and you open the season against Lena Winslow. Hello!
yeah, it's a good and bad thing. You're going to play a great program, obviously, defending 1A state champs. They're going to play a great program right away. They're always disciplined. They're always tough. They play the game the right way. Coach Rarand over there has them going in the right direction, obviously. You're going to figure out where your weaknesses are and right away, and you figure out also what you can do good. If you have success against Lena Winslow doing something, then obviously, you must be doing something right. So kids are excited for it. They know it's a challenge. They ain't shying away from it. They know it's a challenge, and you tell them that all summer. You got a big test week 1, and then week 2 we play EPC, which was the conference champs last year. 2A playoff team. End up losing to Newman in the second round, and first 2 weeks right away, you're going to find out what we're all about. So kids are looking forward to the challenge. We're looking forward to the challenge. It should be fun.
We talk about the big Northern West Conference. We talk about the NIC-10, but that NUIC with Dakota and all those type of schools in it, every week's pretty much a challenge, isn't it?
Yeah, you got, on our side of the conference, you got, 5 teams that could legitimately be in the playoffs every year, and it always seems like someone out of our conference, either side, is always pushing to be in the state title game, if not win it, so it's really never an easy week in our conference, and that's great. It's really, you got to prepare and be ready to go every week, and it keeps the kids on edge, and they don't allow for too much downtime at practice or messing around because the kids know they gotta be ready to go.
When I ask you at the end of this season, what would you like to be talking about as you accomplish your goals? What are your goals?
Honestly, our goals are the same as everyone else. We have a varsity football team, and we like to make the playoffs. That's why you play the season, to try and get 5 wins and qualify. If we're doing that, we had a very successful season. There are obviously other minor goals would be, to get our first varsity win. Once we get that, then move on and get our second one, and then be able to play the whole season. And then graduate seniors, and then hopefully, fresh off that success. And then that sophomore class moving up with the juniors, and then we can get ready to go for next season. Our goals are the same as everyone. Might make the playoffs, every year. Some people that might be funny sounding as to what happened the last couple of years. Well, that's fine. I didn't come here not to try and make the playoffs. That's why I put all the work in over the winter and the spring and the summer. why we're doing what we're doing now, and that's why we play the games.
You know, I look at Pecatonica before I let you go. It seems like you're getting a fresh start. You get to wipe away those old memories and start something new here, and it seems like it's very positive over there at Pecatonica.
It is. It's been my first year in the district last year, and obviously, I guess one of the only good things about not having a varsity season last year is kind of got the reset. I coached the fresh soft team last year, so they know what to expect from me, and then this year, kind of the foundation's already laid, and kids know what to expect, know what to do, and we're just moving on from there. So that's about the only good thing I could say about last year, not having a varsity season, was we kind of got to did reset the clock a little bit and kind of wash away some of that stuff from the year before and move forward, which we have been doing, and we're excited about seeing where it goes.
Well, thanks so much, Coach, for taking time. I know you're busy. Good luck against Lena Winslow on the 29th, and we'll be keeping an eye on Pecatonica this year.
All right, thank you very much.
We've been talking to Pecatonica head football coach Eric Bergin. For the StatelineSportsHub.com, I'm Dave Schmidt.